Jameson, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh man, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. You got to be better though, because look, let's be honest here. Some Girls is going to go number one. It's going to happen. It's going to be your first number one single. You've got to be like on cloud nine. It's been 10 years in Nashville chasing this dream. Of course, you've had hits writing for other people, but there's got to be something different and special about this one. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely don't want to, count my eggs before they're hatched or whatever. I'm scared. I'm scared, man. I'm scared to say it. I'm scared to say it, but it definitely feels good. But man, it feels different just because, I moved here 10 years ago to kind of be for that. You know what I mean? It took me 10 years plus to kind of get to this moment. So it hasn't sank in yet, to be honest with you. So I don't know. It's a good feeling.
All right, well, we won't jinx it then, but if and when it happens, how are you going to celebrate? Do you have a big party planned? Are you going back home to see some family and do something there? How are we going to bring this thing in?
So I am going home this weekend. This is my first time go around with having a song on the radio. So I don't know when I'll find out officially. I don't know when that'll be, but I'm coming back to Nashville Sunday, and if it's number one by then, it'll be a major throwdown somewhere here with the whole crew here in Nashville. But nope, I haven't planned anything just because I don't want to jinx it,
Absolutely. So you've had hits before with obviously Chris Lane, and you've written songs for Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan. As a songwriter over the past decade, is there one particular song that kind of sticks out for you as your personal favorite that you've written, or maybe even just the one that you're the most proud of that maybe people haven't heard yet?
Yeah. I think one that another artist has recorded is probably Born Here, Live Here, Die Here by Luke Bryan. Just Luke Bryan made that his title track to his most recent album. I just wrote that whole song is pretty much about how I grew up and people I grew up with. And so it just, when I hear that song, it makes me think of my hometown and if I could have one back, that one at this point, maybe.
That's fantastic. So again, 10 years in Nashville, chasing this dream. You've had the big hits with Luke and Chris Lane and Jason and all these guys. Is there a moment during this decade where you got a little starstruck, and maybe the first time that you got to hang with somebody, meet with somebody, write with somebody? Tell me about that moment.
Man, I haven't. Funny starstruck moment. So, I grew up listening to 90s country, right? I was born in 87. And so like my first memory ever of a song is probably Friends in Low Places. Mm-hmm. And so me and Travis Denning and Cassie Ashton last year were part of the CMA Kickstart program. And part of the program was we got to sit and hang for 45 minutes with Garth Brooks. And the whole day, we had other stuff going on the whole day, and that's all I could think about. I was just like, man, I cannot believe I'm fixing to sit down with the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yes,
he's the GOAT.
He's
the GOAT. And so we sit down, and the first thing he says was like, so Jameson, man, you're from Batesville, Mississippi. Tell me a little bit about that. And I was like, what? How do you know this? Like,
he's the coolest guy. He's the coolest dude, isn't he?
He was so cool. And he at the end of the hang or whatever, he was like, hey, y'all get your phones out. Get your phones out. And I thought he was going to be like, we can take a picture now if y'all want. And he was like, put my number in there. And I was like, no way this is his number. No freaking way. And I'm laying in bed at like 10 o'clock that night. And I get a text, and it says Garth Brooks on my phone.
Get out of here.
And he's just like, man, it's great to meet you. If you ever need anything, seriously, don't hesitate to reach out. And so that was my Travis. If you ever talk to Travis, ask him. I was starstruck that day. I ain't gonna lie. It was probably embarrassing.
Who wouldn't be, dude? It's Garth, and you got his number.
Know.
Like
that's what I was more surprised that Travis and Cassie acting like it wasn't a big deal. I was like,
right.
What are y'all even doing?
So it's been a big year for you. 2020 has really been a mess for everybody. And I know that, you're not able to tour, and there are a lot of negatives in the back, but specifically there's a couple of really big positives for you. Obviously Some Girls and the big success there, but you just got engaged a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It was a long time coming. So I met Sarah at the Bluebird 9 years ago. And, it took us a few years for the stars to align and for us to start dating. And we started dating in 2015. And she's a singer-songwriter as well. So it hasn't been a real rush into getting engaged and getting married stuff. So I kind of knew it was getting close. And I was like, man, I don't know how to do it, whatnot. And I was like, I met her at the Bluebird. And so I would have loved to have done it like during a show there, like if we were playing a songwriter round but no shows at the Bluebird this year. But it worked out because I got to rent the Bluebird out. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like if there were shows every night. So she thought she was going there for a made up documentary that I completely made up.
That's awesome. My wife told me to ask 2 important questions about you and Sarah. The first one was if you're willing to give details on, you said in the post and just now as well that it took a couple of years for things to align for you guys to get together. Were you seeing other people, but also kind of liked each other low key? I mean, can you give me any details on that and how it eventually ended up into a relationship?
That's absolutely what happened. So I was dating somebody else at the time. And I think she was too, actually. And but there was like a chemistry thing, like as soon as we met. And it just, we would always kind of flirt with each other. If my ex hears this, she's going to be like,
I knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. But yeah, it was always a flirty kind of thing. And I think one night we just kind of took a shot. We were just like, man, let's see if we're more than friends. And here we are. But yeah, she's a good one.
The second question my wife told me to ask was about the ring and buying the ring. Did you know immediately what you wanted to get, or did you kind of have to poke and prod to figure out the right way to go?
Funny story. So my buddy Hunter Phelps, who I'm writing with today, he's just stepped outside because we're doing this. But him and his now wife, when they got engaged, they went and like picked the ring out together and did that whole deal. And me and Sarah have never ever talked about marriage or getting engaged or anything like that. People are like, really? That's crazy. But she never brought it up, never pressured me or anything like that. But the only thing she dropped in was a note or just like a little hint of something was when they went and did that. She was like, I would never want to do that. I would want it to be a surprise. And so I was like, noted. All right, noted. And so, I mean, how am I supposed to go into a jewelry store and pick out an engagement ring that she'll want?
It's hard.
I mean, You know what I mean? So I got her sister to help me out. I went and sent her like 10 options and narrowed it down to like 3 or 4 that, I thought were great. And she helped me out. So that was I don't know what I would have done if she hadn't helped me out.
It's a difficult thing, but the ring's beautiful, man. And again, congratulations, obviously.
Thank you.
So let's get back to Some Girls, which again is going to be a number 1. We know it's going to happen. There's the song's obviously about, the different kind of breakups and heartbreak that you go through. And I want to ask you specifically which one you think is worst. Is it the clean break, stay gone, or is it the unfollow you and then follow you back? Which one's the worst?
Oh, the one that lingers around for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
The
clean breaks are always, that's what you want. You know what I mean? You want the ones that don't linger around and make you question if you made the right decision or not.
There's also though, but there is the point. The clean break, stay gone is also one of those things where you're like, well, damn, did she even like me at all? Because they're like gone. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. It makes you question your worth, I guess.
So as a songwriter, I always love to ask this question because I think it's an important question. It's probably a heavy question for you. Do you remember the first time that you heard a song on the radio and you said to yourself, damn, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And it's because of, a song like that.
Yeah, it was the first Eric Church record. So, I mean, I grew up listening to 90s country and the classic rock stuff. I played baseball. I love the stuff they play in between innings, AC/DC, Mellencamp, all that stuff. And always had a love for country music. And I think I was a senior in high school or I might have been a freshman in college when the first Eric Church record came out, The Sinners Like Me. And I was just like, man, because I always loved to sing. I just never taken the step and to learn guitar and that stuff. And so when that record came out, I was like, man, he's writing songs from my soul. like he's like reaching into my soul. Like I'd never heard songs like that. It was like it was songs for the guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that record made me pick the guitar up. I mean, I was a late bloomer. I didn't start playing guitar until I was in college, and so yeah, I have to give the Chief credit for that one.
Let's do some quick fire questions.
Yeah.
Going back to 90s country. The first 90s country star that you had a crush on. Do you remember?
Oh, let's think. Probably, does Dina Carter fall in that category?
Of course she does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had the Trisha Yearwood, She's in Love with the Boy poster like up in the bedroom.
I remember that video. I do.
If you're having drinks with friends, you guys decide you're going out for karaoke, what's the song choice?
Oh my God. I haven't sang karaoke in years. I'm not a karaoke guy. Oh man. We'll go with some Conway Twitty, probably something
Good
random
pick.
in country.
Good pick. If you could swap lives with any celebrity one day only, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Do Kenny Chesney and see. I'd like to see what a stadium of people singing your songs would feel like.
Plus, he's just got that Caribbean life going. I have a theory that Kenny Chesney's doing whatever you think he's doing at any given time. That's true, man. I saw a picture of him the other day sitting on a hammock with a Corona on his own island, and I'm like, that's insanity.
Another one would be Kevin Costner. He's like, he could be the coolest dude of all time.
I think he is. You're right.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be another solid pick.
What would Sarah say is her biggest pet peeve that you do?
Ooh. Keep I keep the house so cold. I like it's embarrassing. Like when she every night she's just like shivering. So that would probably be the.
What do you go with? I keep ours at like 67, and my wife's just freezing her butt.
Same.
Yeah.
67. That's it. That's the number. Anything below that, you're just like, that's 65 is like
too much. Yeah, that's too cold.
That's way too far. Yeah.
Jameson Rodgers, thank you, man. I really appreciate your time. I'm excited for Some Girls. I'm excited for more music from you. Can't wait to celebrate #1 with you, man. And congratulations. Early congrats.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.